I used it a lot as a missionary, a lot of music throughout my whole life. And I think you can kind of express those feelings in your heart, even through a stringed instrument, let alone singing or something, to get some powerful communication across.
Yeah, no, I love music, everything about it. I started guitar when I was, I think like 9 or 10. So
Okay.
yeah, it's always been a part. It's just I think that like was like the spark of music, and I do think it does like communicate like the feels and thoughts of uh the person playing and how you want like a person to feel too. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's powerful. It can be very powerful.
yeah. Well, that is really interesting using like communication that linguist uh, background into marketing because it does make sense. Like you're just conveying like your product is kind of like, hey, this is a part of me, you know. So
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
like
I
that.
mean, you can work for a super boring company, but as long as people are still kind of like passionate about the product, you can express that. You can find a way to express that. And I did. I worked for an inventory control software company. Like it's pretty dry, right?
Mm.
But we put our personality into it, and that business did really well.
That's cool. Like, how does attitude also play like a role in for like an entrepreneur? Because it is very challenging. So how do you
Yeah.
like set the tone for the day, even when it's like when things aren't going too well? Yeah, so just
So
something
I
like
think
that.
um, you've got to kind of have a combination of confidence and humility, which I do think can exist at the same time. You have to be humble enough to kind of do the everyday things that are little, um, that are the right thing, and that are going to get you somewhere, that are going to help you progress. Um, all the while knowing, how you have to have a little bit of confidence in yourself and optimism, I think, to just know that it's like, hey, this is going to pay off eventually, even if it doesn't pay off today.
Mhm.
I'm going to do the right thing today because it's going to build, it's going to build, it's going to build. So you have to set good habits. I can't say that I've conquered habits. I've got you know, a bunch of things to work on, trying to lose some weight, um, trying to get stronger and stuff like that. But I think as long as your mindset is you've got a healthy optimism with the humility of like, I'm not there yet. I'm gonna do the right thing until the next opportunity, and then I'm gonna do the right thing until the next opportunity. And um, it also helps a lot to have a really supportive spouse. So my wife, she was the one that told me like, hey, why don't you just start your business? Or when I had an opportunity to take I had a job offer that she was like, you know what, like go with this. She told me to go with the knives and stuff. So anyway, it's helpful to have someone else who has confidence in you as well. So if that's that mentor that we talked about too, like that'd be really helpful when they're like, man, you're doing a good job, or so it makes you want to pass that along and be complimentary to other people and give them encouragement. I just recently did a thing with an entrepreneurship e-commerce class at BYU where they had some students that helped uh, did some projects on my brand, and I hope I was complimentary enough to them. I was trying to be encouraging because what they were doing was actually really good. This is like their first like undergrad business class, and
Mhm.
like, dude, that's good. That's a good idea. Keep going. Just got to keep going, keep going. So encouraging yourself to do that. You know, if you can do that, great. If you can get someone else to help you as well, either a mentor or spouse or someone that can instill that confidence in you. And then having done it multiple times, that gives you some confidence too.
Yeah, it's definitely not gonna be like a perfect run every single time, or you're never gonna. It's not a straight shot, so there's gonna be some hardships for sure.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you have to give yourself a break every once in a while too, because when you work on your own company, there's no like clocking out time. There's
Yeah.
no time to like be like, oh, I'm off the clock. So you kind of have to do that to yourself. You have to give yourself the opportunity to take a break, or else you'll just drive yourself crazy and you won't get enough sleep. Been there, done that a little bit. So
Yeah.
kind of have to allow yourself to be like, you know what, like as much as I know that would help progress the business or whatever, I'm gonna, family's important, church is important. You're gonna
Mhm.
have to make sure your priorities are correct.
I do like that. Yeah, no, that's why I took a break from the podcast for a little bit. It's been like 4 months, since 5 months, I think, since I did
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah, but I did start that other the music podcast, and yeah, no, if you're interested, we
Yeah,
literally
send me a
just
link on that one.
yeah, we literally just talk about. It's called the "What Are You Listening To" podcast, and we literally just talk about like what songs we're listening to, and then we make like a little mix, and then we share that with everybody. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's super
What
simple.
kind of genre are you into? Like I mean, I may sound a little bland, but I do a lot of classical music. So
I love classical. That's what got me into music
okay.
too. We we learned on that. I was in the band too for like um, elementary, middle school, and high school too. So,
Okay.
yeah,
What'd you play?
I play clarinet. It's not an instrument I really enjoy anymore, but like I didn't really have fun playing it. So that's another thing. I have to do something that I actually enjoy, and then
Yeah.
I'll actually learn it. That's why I like the guitar a lot more. So it's
Okay.
it's fun. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. We played string instruments was our serious instrument growing up. So there's 7 of us kids, and we all did either violin or cello. And then when we got to junior high or whatever, we could just kind of pick an instrument that was our fun instrument.
Mhm.
And that was where I played trumpet and I played French horn and I played like bass in the jazz band and stuff like that. And it was ironic a little bit later to me when I thought about it. I was like, really, the instrument that I'm really good at should be my fun instrument. Why don't I
Mhm.
like put the joy back into that? So anyway, I've been trying to play more for the joy of it than just to like beat somebody or be
Mhm.
competitive in the orchestra or soloing or whatever. So anyway, it's given me a little bit more joy to just create beautiful music for other people.
Yeah, no, it's so fun. Like just noodling around on the guitar or any instrument. You don't have to be good at it. Just as long as it's fun, that's what I think is important. Because it might lead you to like to keep practicing and getting better. Kind of like cooking and stuff,
Yeah.
You just start small, learn how to cut an onion correctly, cry a whole bunch, and then you'll get good at cutting onions. And then you'll get your fingers will get better, when you get the calluses on the guitar or the stringed instruments or yeah.
Yeah.
So um hmm, what other questions do I have? So I think we talked a little bit about some YouTube cooking channels. So
Yeah.
Kenji's obviously one of the greatest. Learned so much from it. Um, any like cooking movies that you enjoy?
Cooking movies. More for me, it is other YouTubers actually. Like
Okay.
there's the Joshua Weissman,
Oh, yep. See, it
um,
is.
at Adam Ragusia.
Oh, yeah. No, he's
Uh,
killing it right now. He's doing a really good job. Like,
yeah, he's really clever too.
he's
I,
a good writer.
like, yeah, and he used to work in radio and stuff. He knows how to like keep your attention that way and stuff. So, um, let's see. I actually like a lot of YouTubers that, but only a handful are cooking ones. Kenji for me really is like that's the style I love because
It's so
it's like you're in the
raw.
kitchen with them. Yeah,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
it's like you're just cooking with your friend, except he's
Mhm.
just way better at it than you are.
Yeah. He just makes
So
it
it's
look
nice to
so
have.
fast.
Yeah, I want to like. I've joked around about doing like a poor man's Kenji YouTube video and just like I do what Kenji's doing, except in like probably a few levels down in expertise, and maybe even
Yeah.
the ingredients aren't as good because I don't know how to pick the right kind of this or that.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then just put a GoPro on my head and
I did
do the
that.
same
I
thing.
did that. I had a channel. Did literally
Oh,
that.
did you?
It was fun. But yeah, I stopped doing that for a while. But it's
Well, and
fun.
I have a brother-in-law he's a he wouldn't call himself a chef, but he's worked in restaurants
Hmm.
from the majority of his life, and he owns a couple of restaurants, and so I've learned stuff from him. And anyway, I even with food restaurants, it's not always about the food. There's
Hmm.
still like this people part of things, like how do you
Yeah.
make people feel when they come into your restaurant? How do they feel? Like I
Hospitality.
actually
Yeah.
had I had one chef who was he was one of my first chefs to test my knife, and he said the secret behind cooking is sorry, this isn't like rated G, but he said he's like when he's like what I tell all my chefs, all my cooks that you need to prepare this meal in a way that you're we'll just say like you're trying to seduce the person that is going to eat it. I mean, he didn't quite say it like that, but he was like, you
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
them to, you want to seduce the person by
Yeah.
how amazing this meal is. And I was like, huh, that's interesting, because you can even communicate through your food sometimes. Like, even presentation can mean a lot sometimes. So anyway,
Yeah. No,
yeah,
it's that's why I love looking at like Japanese food because it's the presentation is just
so
it's
neat.
amazing. It's so nice.
Yeah,
Um, every detail there, even if it's just like something small, um, like a something from 7-Eleven out in like Japan. It's still like
yeah.
it's a onigiri, the rice ball. It's like still pretty, and it's so simple. So just that, like just the little things like that is cool, huh?
That's fun. And it's funny, the juxtaposition to that is, to me, Thailand is like the opposite, where it's just like we are all about flavor and taste. Like
Hmm.
we don't care what the presentation is going to be like. You're going to have a party in your mouth. Like
Yeah,
they just love all their flavors. I just love Thai food, man.
yeah. What's like your favorite like ingredient, Thai ingredient that you could uh, just recommend
Mm.
to?
Um, Probably curry paste. You can make. It's amazing how little knowledge you need to, as long as you have a good curry paste. So like they call it gangdang, or like a red curry paste,
Mhm.
or Penang curry paste that you can get. I think Machoy, whatever, Maechoy is the brand that I go with, or something. I think it's
Mhm.
something like that. That's I mean, it's cheap. You can make a ton of it, and it tastes amazing with like very little effort and coconut milk. as long
Yeah,
as you have
coconut
good,
milk. Mm.
as long as you have good coconut milk or cream, you can make some dang good curry.
Yeah, that's coconut milk. That was a game changer. I usually didn't cook with it until like I don't know. I think I made like chicken, lemongrass, and like chicken and
Oh
with
yeah,
coconut milk, and it just turned out really good. So
yeah. There's a soup called tom kha. It's actually you say tom kha gai. It's a like boiled, well, whatever. It'll look like tom kha or tom kha.
mhm.
Um, that's just so easy to make as long as you get the ingredients that are like, I mean, the pastes and stuff are almost half the battle is just finding the right kind of
Yeah,
ingredients.
yeah,
So
it's hard finding like the right one, but like you could find like a that's the same ingredient but like a different brand, and it's totally
yeah,
different.
it
It's
can be
not the same.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, and this is just like the last fun question. So
yeah.
what's like what was like your favorite toy like growing up, or what kind of like toys or like activities would you like recommend to like a kid growing up in this age. So like, what was your favorite toy when you were a kid, and like recommendations for
Um,